By the way, there's an interesting thing that has been noticed, and I think it was noticed by it's Newsbusters. Our buddies at Newsbusters happen to know. NBC announces this big Hillary Clinton miniseries. And the next thing that happens is the chairman of the Republican National Committee, Reince Priebus, says, if you guys do this, to hell with you. We're not going to show up in any debates that you moderate. And I said, well, that's a start, but why don't you send a letter and say, we're not going to show up at any debates you moderate, period. Seriously, if I may make a brief aside, what business do Republicans, particularly in their primary debates, what business do they have going on what are now undeniable left-wing agenda news networks? The presumption used to be that the mainstream media was objective and you had to go through them to get to the White House, but that's not what it is anymore. These people are part of the Democrat Party agenda. CNN, MSNBC, NBC, wherever you go outside of Fox, you are going up against the Democrat Party with people disguised as journalists. Why do it, particularly during your primaries? This whole war on women thing, remember how that got started? Just to remind you again, it was in January of last year. And it was a Republican debate. ABC was doing it. Stephanopoulos was moderating it. And out of the blue, he starts asking Romney about contraception. And contraception wasn't an issue. And he's asking Romney if there ought to be contraception, if he would agree that there should be mandated contraception or not. States should do it. Romney didn't know what the hell to say. It wasn't an issue. Nobody was talking about it ever. And all they had to do was Romney say, just answer the question, yes or no, and they had their built-in war on women. Now, I'm convinced that Stephanopoulos was working with the Obama campaign to do that. There was coordination. I don't have any doubt about it. There would be coordination today. In 2014, there's going to be coordination in 2016, the primaries. Why show up and do debates on those networks? Do them on your own network. Put together your own debates with your own moderators, whoever you want, and focus on real Republican issues in these debates rather than have it all, whether they're going to do a Hillary Clinton miniseries or not. That's just my brief aside. That would be, in this current modern age, there's no reason anymore to treat these mainstream media people as mainstream objective and non-aligned reporters. They are aligned. They are aligned with the Democrat Party. Their objective is the defeat of whoever the Republican nominee is. And so their purpose is to discredit and impugn all of them. So by the time you have, 20 debates, 10 debates, however many Republican primary debates that you do, by the time you finish all of them, every one of those Republican candidates is going to have been savaged, laughed at, discredited, made fun of, whatever, by whatever network is hosting these things. It makes literally, in just an intelligence sense, it makes no sense to do it. Put together your own debates on your own networks, get your own moderators, whoever. And no, this is not a push. I don't even want to do it, folks. I don't like interviewing people. This is not at all a push for me to be involved. I have no desire to do it. I'm just talking about being smart. Anyway, so NBC announces, along with CNN, NBC announces this giant Hillary miniseries. Then Reince Priebus says, well, if you do that, we're not going to show up in any of your debates. And not long after that, a bunch of NBC people start criticizing the Hillary miniseries. Andrea Mitchell, NBC News in Washington. F. Chuck Todd. I mean, there were a slew of them. 3 or 4 NBC prominent news people started criticizing the Hillary miniseries. And I did not think, and I do not think that that's a coincidence. I think they're trying to kill it. what F. Chuck Todd says, we can't win. If they do the Hillary miniseries, we're either going to be perceived here at NBC News and MSNBC as in the tank for Hillary, or if it goes the other way, we're going to be criticized by not being enough in the tank for Hillary. So we'd rather not have the pressure. But there was also a presumption that the Clintons don't want a miniseries on Hillary because they don't think they need it. As far as the Clintons and the Democrats are concerned, Hillary's a lock. The 2016 nomination is hers. She doesn't need an image-building miniseries. So by the time you add the Clintons not being desirous of it and NBC News people not wanting it, maybe you can kill it. Because obviously it started out as a bad idea, and they have to kill it and make it look like it's being killed for really, really qualified and classy reasons. And I wouldn't be surprised if NBC doesn't do it. I mean, it's really not a coincidence that all of these people signed up on this. In fact, the Newsbuster story on this, Andrea Mitchell, NBC News in Washington, F. Chuck Todd, Robert Gibbs, within hours of each other Thursday, just yesterday, came down strongly against NBC's miniseries about Hillary. Why do you think that would be? Well, a Hollywood Reporter gave us a clue. With NBC planning to create a Hillary miniseries, CNN poised to do a documentary, Hollywood might have brought about that rarest of phenomenon, bipartisan agreement. Reince Priebus doesn't want it. Harry Thomason, longtime Clinton friend and producer, said he never discussed the matter with the Clintons. But it was revealed in the Hollywood Reporter that some Clinton associates are wary of this and would be happy if both projects fell by the wayside. Because frankly, as I say, they don't think they need it. It's a weird way things work, but I don't think that's a coincidence at all.